Have you ever sat beside your husband, the TV humming in the background, and realized you haven't had a real conversation in days? Not an argument, not small talk, a real heart-to-heart. You think back to when you were first married, the way you used to talk about everything under the sun. Now, it feels like he's drifting into his own quiet world, and you can't help but wonder, what happened? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many senior women find themselves asking the same question. Why doesn't my husband talk to me like he used to? The truth is, communication in long-term relationships naturally changes over time. And as couples move into their retirement years, they face new dynamics, slower days, changing roles, health concerns, and emotional shifts. For many senior men, that change often shows up in silence. But here's the good news. That silence doesn't have to be permanent. It's not always about disinterest or distance. Sometimes it's about fear, habit, or simply not knowing how to reconnect. Today, we're going to talk honestly and openly about why senior men often become quiet in their relationships, and more importantly, what women can do to gently rebuild that emotional bridge. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding. It's about growing together, even in the later chapters of life. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive in heart first. Number 1, why senior men go silent. Let's start by understanding what's really happening beneath the quiet. It's not always what you think. A lot of women assume that their husband's silence means he's upset, angry, or emotionally distant. But in many cases, that silence is something much softer and sadder. For some men, retirement brings a loss of identity. They spent decades being the provider, the decision-maker, the go-to guy. Now, with no office to go to and fewer responsibilities, they may feel unsure of their place. And for a generation of men who were raised to believe real men don't talk about feelings, expressing themselves emotionally can feel uncomfortable, even scary. Add in health issues, low energy, or even mild depression, and suddenly, silence becomes the easier option. In some cases, they might also feel like they have nothing new to say. They've been with their wives for 40, 50, sometimes 60 years. They think, she already knows everything about me. What more is there to say? But as women, we crave connection. And that disconnect, the difference between needing emotional closeness and settling into quiet routine, can leave a lot of women feeling lonely, even when they are not alone. So the first step is this: understand that his silence isn't personal. It's a reflection of internal change, not a rejection of you. Once we understand that, we can shift from feeling hurt to feeling curious. And that's where real connection begins. Number 2. How to gently reopen the lines of communication. So, now that we understand why many senior men go quiet, let's talk about what you can do to start the conversation, not just with words, but with warmth, patience, and purpose. Because here's the secret. It's not about getting him to talk more, it's about helping him feel safe to open up. And that starts with small, thoughtful steps. Start with presence, not pressure. One of the most powerful things you can offer is your presence. Not questions, not suggestions, just your calm, gentle company. Sometimes a man who's grown quiet is simply overwhelmed by the expectation to open up. If he senses that every chat is turning into a deep conversation, or feels like he's being pulled into emotional waters he's not ready for, he'll retreat further. Instead, create quiet moments together where talking is optional, like sitting outside with a cup of coffee, taking a walk together, or listening to music you both enjoy. This tells him, I enjoy being near you. You don't have to perform or entertain me. I'm just glad to be here with you. That kind of acceptance can do more to open a man's heart than any carefully worded question. Ask gentle, open-ended questions. If you do want to start a conversation, avoid yes or no questions like, are you okay? Or did you sleep well? These tend to end with one-word answers. Instead, try gentle, open-ended ones like, what's something you've been thinking about lately? What was your favorite memory from our early days? Have you ever wished we had done something differently? Questions like these are soft and inviting, not invasive. They offer room for reflection rather than demanding answers. Even if he just shrugs and says, "I don't know," it's okay. The point isn't to get the perfect answer, it's to leave the door open. Listen without interrupting or correcting. When he does talk, even if it's brief or off-topic, try to resist the urge to correct, fix, or finish his sentences. It's easy to fall into the habit of saying things like, "Oh, you already told me that," or "No, that's not how it happened," or "You should have said something earlier." But every time that happens, it chips away at the safety he needs to keep talking. Instead, practice active listening. Nod. Make eye contact. Let your body language say, "I'm here, I care, I'm listening." Sometimes the best conversations come not from what you say, but from how you make him feel while he's saying it. Don't wait for big talks. Celebrate the small ones. Not every conversation needs to be deep and emotional. In fact, building communication often starts with the small stuff. Talk about the weather, the birds on the porch, a neighbor's new haircut, a funny memory from the past. These little chats are like warm-up stretches for the heart. They build trust and ease, making the bigger talks more likely to happen naturally over time. Express gratitude. Out loud. Sometimes a man who's gone quiet is wondering deep down, do I still matter? Does she still see me? Am I still useful in this home, in this life? That's why one of the most healing things a woman can do is express appreciation for the little things out loud. Even if it's just, "Thank you for taking care of the yard." It means a lot. "I love when we sit together like this. You've always made me feel safe." These words are like sunlight on an old garden. They wake things up. And over time, they may gently coax more words, more smiles, and more closeness out of the quiet. Number 3, taking care of your own emotional needs without waiting on him to change. First, let's be honest, when your partner shuts down emotionally or stops communicating, it can feel lonely, maybe even frustrating. You might find yourself wondering, why do I always have to be the one reaching out? What about my feelings, my needs? Does he even care anymore? These are valid questions. And here's the truth. Your emotional well-being matters just as much as his. In this stage of life, you've given a lot to your family, your marriage, your community, but now is the time to also give to yourself. That doesn't mean giving up on connection. It means nurturing yourself so that you're not running on empty emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Here's how to do that without turning your back on your marriage or giving in to resentment. Reconnect with yourself. First, before trying to fix the silence in your relationship, ask yourself, what fills me up? Is it gardening, reading, volunteering, talking to an old friend on the phone? Whatever it is, give yourself permission to enjoy it regularly, because when you nourish your own soul, you become less dependent on someone else's behavior to feel okay. This isn't selfish, it's self-sustaining. And strangely enough, when your partner sees you coming to life, it can spark something in them too. Joy is contagious. Even quiet men notice when you're glowing. Let go of the idea that everything has to be fixed. Sometimes when we love someone, we just want to make things better. We want to solve the silence, understand the distance, and bring things back to how they used to be. But aging brings change, and not all change is bad. It's okay if your conversations aren't the same as they were in your 30s. It's okay if he's not as emotionally expressive as you'd like. The key is to stop expecting one person to meet all your emotional needs. Instead, find comfort in a blend of relationships: a sister, a close friend, a grandchild, or a spiritual group. Your husband may not say everything you want to hear, but that doesn't mean you can't feel seen, heard, and supported in other beautiful ways. Don't let silence become resentment. One of the quiet dangers in long-term relationships is not the silence itself, but the stories we begin to tell ourselves about it. He doesn't love me anymore. He's shutting me out on purpose. He's tired of me. But what if? None of that is true? What if he's just tired, or unsure of what to say, or afraid of being misunderstood? Instead of jumping to conclusions, try replacing frustration with curiosity. You might say, "I've noticed we don't talk as much lately. I miss hearing your voice. It means a lot to me when we share even the small things. I'm here whenever you feel like talking. No pressure." These words are soft bridges. They don't accuse. They invite. Even if nothing changes overnight, you can go to sleep knowing you led with love instead of anger. Build a life that doesn't pause when he's quiet. The most freeing realization is this: you can keep growing, laughing, learning, and living even if your husband isn't ready to open up just yet. Start a new hobby, join a local book club, sign up for a watercolor class, spend more time with grandkids, revisit your dreams. Yes, even now. When you keep living fully, it sends a quiet message to your partner. Life is still beautiful. We don't have to be stuck. And sometimes that's exactly what inspires him to step back in. Number 4, gentle ways to rekindle connection without forcing it. So you've been patient. You've focused on your own well-being. You've stopped chasing conversations that feel like dead ends. That's a powerful place to stand. But now comes the heart of it. How do you gently bring warmth and closeness back into a relationship that's gone quiet? You don't need grand gestures or long-winded heart-to-hearts. In fact, the best way to reach a quiet man? It's through small, consistent moments of connection. Let's look at some ways to do just that. Create comfort, not confrontation. First things first, men often retreat when they feel they're being pushed to talk, especially senior men who may have been raised in a time where showing emotions was seen as weak. So, instead of saying, "Why don't you talk to me anymore?" which might make him shut down further, try softer approaches. Here are a few gentle openers that invite, not pressure. "Hey, I'd love to hear what you thought about that movie. I saw something today that reminded me of you. Do you remember that old road trip we took to the lake?" These aren't deep or dramatic questions, but they open a window. They signal safety, warmth, and a chance to connect on neutral ground. You don't need to dig into emotions to build connection. Sometimes a shared laugh, a simple memory, or a moment of silence over coffee says more than words ever could. Use shared routines to build bonding. Routines can either feel dull or deeply comforting. The key is how you use them. Maybe you both drink coffee in the morning, or sit down to dinner each night, or watch the same news show. Instead of just letting those routines slide by silently, infuse them with tiny touch points. Ask him to help you stir the soup even if you don't need help. Sit next to him on the couch and gently touch his hand, even if no words are exchanged. Look him in the eye when you say, "Good morning." These aren't flashy changes, but they bring back familiarity, affection, and the sense that you're in this together. Revisit the past, gently. You both have a shared history, decades of it, and sometimes tapping into that past can reawaken feelings that words can't reach. Play an old song you used to dance to in the kitchen. Bring out a photo album and just leave it on the table. Casually mention a funny story from when the kids were little. These tiny memory nudges often soften the edges of silence. They don't demand anything, but they open the door for him to step back into the warmth of the life you built together. Sometimes, a smile or chuckle from him after hearing your song is worth more than a whole conversation. Celebrate the small wins. When he does speak up, even just a little, notice it. Smile, nod, say thank you. Show him without pressure that his presence matters, that you still see him, still appreciate him. And if the silence returns the next day, don't panic. Connection in senior years isn't about non-stop chatter. It's about presence, about showing up again and again. Think of it like tending a fire. You don't need to throw logs on it constantly. Just a gentle stir, a little spark, and the warmth returns. Number 5, finding peace, even if things don't go back to how they were. Now here's something we don't hear enough. It's okay if things change, and it's okay if they don't change back. Sometimes, even after we try everything, patience, kindness, gentle conversation, our partner may still remain quiet. Not because they don't love us, not because they don't care, but because they've simply grown more inward, more reflective, less talkative. This is one of the hardest things for many senior women to accept, because deep down, you might be yearning for the man who used to tell you everything, who used to make you laugh, who used to hold your hand and whisper sweet nothings. And now, there's silence. But here's the truth that can set you free. Love doesn't always look the same at every stage of life. Love evolves, and that's okay. In younger years, love often shows up in fireworks, bold declarations, long conversations, and passionate debates. But as the years pass, love starts to whisper instead of shout. It shows up in small things, the way he makes sure your car has gas, the way he sits in the same room even if he says nothing, the way he always locks the doors before bed, the way he still makes your cup of tea the way you like it. Just because he isn't saying as much doesn't mean his love has disappeared. It may have simply changed shape, quieted down, but it's still there if we choose to see it. Protect your peace, nurture your joy. This part is important. Don't let silence steal your joy. You are still a vibrant, thinking, feeling woman. You still have laughter, stories, purpose, and warmth to share with or without a daily heart-to-heart from your husband. Here's what you can do. Stay connected with your friends and community. Pursue interests that light you up: reading, walking, gardening, crafting. Celebrate the beauty in your own thoughts, your own voice, your own spirit. Remember, your happiness isn't only tied to your partner's words. You deserve fulfillment, peace, and joy, whether he talks or not. This doesn't mean giving up on connection. Not at all. It means expanding your definition of love. It means letting go of expectations that bring you pain and opening your heart to what is not what was. Acceptance is not giving up. Letting go of the fantasy that your husband will one day go back to how he used to be isn't giving up. It's stepping into reality with grace. It's choosing love over frustration. It's saying, this version of him may be quieter, but I can still choose to love him and love myself fully. And that's power. That's maturity. That's deep, enduring love. So let's take a deep breath together. If you've made it this far in the video, you're clearly someone who cares deeply about your marriage, about your partner, about keeping love alive even through the quiet seasons. And that alone says a lot about you. Let's recap what we've uncovered today. We talked about how men often stop talking not out of spite, but because of emotional patterns shaped by age, health, and upbringing. We explored how frustration and silence are sometimes protective shields, not weapons. We learned ways to gently reopen connection through kindness, patience, and understanding. We reminded ourselves that love can evolve, and even if it grows quieter, it can still run deep. And finally, we looked at how you can stay grounded and joyful, even if things don't go back to how they were. Here's the truth, dear friend. You are not alone in this. So many senior women carry this quiet heartbreak. They sit across the dinner table from a man they love dearly, but barely recognize in the silence. And they wonder, is it just me? But it's not just you, and it's not the end of the story. You still have the power to shift things, sometimes just a little, sometimes in bigger ways. You can choose peace over pressure, grace over grief, curiosity over criticism. And most importantly, you can choose to keep your own heart alive, regardless of how much your partner speaks. If this video spoke to you, if it made you feel seen, understood, or simply reminded you that love is still possible at any age, please consider giving it a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more warm, honest conversations made especially for seniors navigating this beautiful, complex chapter of life. Share this with a friend who might need to hear it. You never know how much comfort a simple message can bring. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep showing up with love, keep listening with your heart, and remember, your story is still unfolding. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.